Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about recession. Yes, the recession that many economists have been warning us about because of the COVID-19. The whole global market, supply, demand, everything are changing and we cannot go back to the old normality but to face the new normal. How to react to this crisis, how to come out of this recession in the most graceful way possible as an artist. That's what I want to talk about today. I want to share with you 7 advice or 7 things that I would do myself to have a more successful career as an artist. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with every point I make. As long as you can take something from this video and make a strategy for yourself so you have more chances, I would be more than happy. Without further ado, let's get into it. My first advice is to wash your hands. No, I'm just kidding. Is to change your game. Because the game had been changed forever. The art galleries are no longer playing the same rule. They're running out of business themselves due to the lockdown, due to the social distancing. The museums are impacted as well. Art had been taking a backseat, buckled up. Let's hope there isn't a better chance as an emerging artist for you to have a chance to make yourself a name, because other galleries are more successful. Maybe they didn't focus on their social media because they have a gallery, but you are working on your social media, you're working on your own communication, therefore you have even more chance than more established artists internationally. I'm just saying that you should take the steering wheel of your own art career and try to turn every disadvantage into an opportunity. My second advice is a bit controversial. I want to warn you about it. I want you to stay in your lane. And you might feel offended, like, why? What are you saying? I want to explain you why I want to say this. After watching a lot of interviews, like the one to Bill Gates or speeches from public officials, I have noticed a lot of people are spending significantly amount of time telling other people how to do their job. Even they are not trained in this domain, they think they know so much that they could have done a better job. And for example, a lot of people are saying, oh, the government could have locked down earlier, or you should have done this or that, and the medical professionals could have done this way. It's like, what? You're not a trained medical professional. What we can do is to use what we have, to use our skills, try to improve the situation instead of blaming each other. I'll give you an example. I'm not a trained medical professional and I'm not a politician. In order to improve the situation, what I can do is my job. That is a filmmaker. I'm a trained filmmaker. I can follow a family which are impacted by the COVID-19 and follow up and see what kind of challenges they face, what kind of helps they need. So maybe I can provide an insight, a story of how people are coping with situation and how we can help families who have been impacted by COVID-19. A politician hanging this banana onto the wall doesn't make him a contemporary artist. Just like you criticizing the politician doesn't make you a politician, doesn't make you a better public administrator. It requires years of training to do a job well. And if they have failed, it's because they're not good enough. It doesn't make you better than them without even that professional training. And I'm not saying that you should shut up. I'm just saying that spending that amount of time on this is counterproductive. Instead, you can do what you can with what you have, with your skills, with your influence, to help other people and make this situation better for everybody. Advice number 3, invest in yourself. Many people ask me, what can I invest in this very difficult time? Should I put my money in the stock market, or should I invest in the real estate market? Should I invest in Bitcoin like other cryptocurrencies? I think the best way is to invest in yourself. If you did not go to art school, maybe it's time for you to go back to school. Maybe you want to take a art marketing course or art business course. Maybe you want to travel to a foreign country and study a foreign language in the future after the lockdown. Or maybe you want to study a foreign language online. Or I don't know what is your needs or your desires, but there are always ways for you to improve yourself. Nobody can't take those away from you, no matter what is the economic situation and no matter what is the art market situation. I think this is the best investment you can make. Invest in yourself. Advice number 4, reduce recurring costs. Recurring costs are the things that you're spending repetitively every month. For example, your Netflix subscription or your art studio rental, maybe other associated costs to your art studio like water, electricity, internet bills, and your telephone bills, for example. Those are recurring costs. Maybe you think recurring costs are not a lot of money, but they add up. For example, I have reduced my phone bill from $50 a month to $38 a month in my office because I cannot access my office anyway right now, and I can save $144 a year. And maybe $144 doesn't look like a lot of money, but if I can reduce bills like that 10 times, 10 different bills, I can save myself a lot of money in the end of the year. You can always optimize bills like that to reduce your recurring costs. Advice number 5, sell secondhand stuff on eBay. In fact, I stole this advice from Gary Vee. He is a famous YouTuber, a digital marketeer. His argument was if you learn how to sell secondhand stuff on eBay, you will be able to get into the world of e-commerce. Even if you fail, it's not a lot of money because secondhand stuff doesn't really require any extra investment. I think this is an extremely good point for artists. You can sell some art on eBay, but you might feel very emotional and you don't want to sell your art on a second-hand platform. However, if you start with your second-hand computer, books, or other things, you will be able to get a good hand of it, and you can decide later if you want to sell your art and craft on eBay, or maybe you finally decide that's not your cup of tea. But without trying, you never know. So I highly encourage you to try eBay to sell some second-hand stuff. Also, the money from selling on eBay will be able to help you to last a little longer. Advice number 6, change your lifestyle. There are many small things that you can change that will make a big impact. For example, reduce the amount of red meat you eat per week. Maybe you're now eating 3 times and now reduce to 1 time per week. That you're reducing the costs because red meat are getting increasingly more and more expensive because of the energy, the money, the emission, the time that required to raise animals like cows and pigs. And also you're killing animals, so maybe it's a good idea to reduce the amount of meat that you consume, and you're saving yourself some money and you are reducing the chances of colon cancer so that you can live longer and healthier, and you have more chances of succeed as an artist because you live longer and healthier, and you have more money at hand because you reduced the amount of red meat that you eat. Last but not the least, I want you to get yourself out there and find yourself a community. Community support will be the tendency in the creative world, but also in the world in general. I'll give you an example. After the 2008 financial crisis, many things like Airbnb, Uber, and they are trending because people have increasing needs of having other people to share their mortgage, to share their rent, so they can sustain their lifestyle. And in the future, when money will be, let's say, an issue for many people will turn to each other to scratch each other's backs to help each other. For example, you might be able to find a photographer who wants to help you make photos of your art and who wants to learn art skills in exchange. You can always find people who can help you and you can help. You can also share the art studio space if you want, and even if you don't need anything from anybody, at least you can find emotional support and you can share experiences, journeys, and insights of becoming an artist, because working as an artist is a very lonely journey. Having someone else sharing their life with you might really help. So having a support system is really crucial, especially in this very difficult time. So those are my 7 advice for you as an artist during the recession. If you have other insights you want to share with us, make sure you leave us a comment in the comment box below. That's all for today. Best of luck and see you in the next video.